Thanks for tuning in to the Urban Scope podcast. I'm covering entertainment news now. And of course, I'm covering the Power Universe. Now, the Stars series of 50 Cent produced shows or executive produced shows in the Power Universe. Now, I'm covering all of the shows that are in the Power Universe. So the BMF series doesn't count. So I'm talking about Power, the original series with Notori Nodin and Omari Hardwick. And I'm talking about Power Book 2, which is Ghost, which is the spinoff of Power, centered around Ghost's son Tariq. And then Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, which is the prequel story of Power, just talking specifically about the life of Kanan and his family. And then Power Book 4, which gives us, a glimpse of Tommy's life after Power. So it's just the aftermath of when Ghost died. Spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen this as well, because I'll be talking a little bit about these shows. Now, this is not including the BMF series, and then they have another story, which is a prequel of Tommy and Ghost's life called Power Origins, and I'm pretty sure they'll have Angela in it as well, and her sister, and the different other pieces that they had, like Breeze and other people, and maybe even Kanan makes an appearance. But I'm excited about the Power Origin story. I don't think it has a release date yet, but stay tuned for that as well. But there are a lot of interesting stories in the Power Book universe or the Power universe. Each serve a different purpose, but I was trying to figure out which one was the best one because they all bring their own unique perspective and their own unique purpose. And they also have, unique characters as well. So just talking about the original Power series with Hardwick and Notori Nodin, which is the OG show, which started everything, and everything spins off this one show. And it makes reference to other things in, the show, and everybody else had a spinoff of it. But this show is the catalyst and the basis for everything. So they had a lot of great TV moments on this series. I do like this show for the characters that it has and a unique perspective, and all of the seasons that they were able to produce at a high level. And after season 4, the writing kind of went down, but nevertheless, I was still glued to the TV and staying up late. Back then, you used to have to stay up at midnight on like Saturday nights, but now it's like Thursday nights. But I don't stay up anymore to watch the series because none of them was as good as this original Power show. But the Power Book 2 Ghost show, which was the aftermath of the Power show, centered around Tariq going to college and trying to get his inheritance from his father that he left him, but he had to go to college and get a certain GPA and stuff like that in a certain amount of time. So, but this show is conflicted by a lot of people because people have a deep hatred for Tariq St. Patrick's character before, his portrayal of his father and his portrayal of everybody in the show and him just being a sneaky person or a character. So a lot of people conflicted, but I did like this Power Book 2 show just for the simple fact it had a lot of characters from the original Power series and a lot of things tied back in. And there were a lot of smart writing on this as well, a lot of cheesy writing, but it wasn't good as the first 4 seasons of the Power writing, original Power series writing. But it is a good show, and I like the storyline, and it kind of tells you that no matter how much Tyreek try not to be like Ghost, he is the same person as Ghost. He has the same genetics, so to speak, from the series, perspective or a series world. But he's the exact same person that Ghost is, no matter how much he tries to be different. Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, which is one of my favorite shows in this series because of the amount of investment that they put in this series, because it's supposed to take place in like the late 80s, I believe, early 90s. The hairstyles that's on here, the fashion, the old school clothing or nostalgic clothing that they're wearing on this series. The actors that they have, I think the actors they have in this series are better than any other actors in the other Power Book on the Power series on the Power universe. So Raquel Thomas, which is played by Bettina Miller. She is easily the best actor in any of the Power universe, and that includes Omari Hardwick or Notori Nodin or the guy who plays Proctor. I forgot his real name, but he played on HBO series. I believe it was Entourage or something. But um, Miller is easily the best actor in the series of all of the shows, and that's not even close, I believe. But you know, 50 Cent's character, Kanan, his the actor who plays him as well is excellent as well. But I think Patina Miller, her acting overshadows everybody else because she's a professional actor and she's done Broadway and a lot of different big TV shows and things like that. So she's well seasoned. She looks a lot older. Well, the way they have her on the show, she looks a lot older, but she's only around like 37 or something. But they do a good job with the makeup on that show as well, with the different characters and just portraying different things. And Joey Badass, his character as well, because he's a very good actor. I mean, he's a great rapper as well, but his acting, he's showing that he belongs in the acting game, and he's just not getting it off his popularity. He's definitely a great actor as well. So I love him in the series. But this series is like similar to if you're a Breaking Bad fan and you're watching Better Call Saul, you have to be a true fan of the series to be able to watch this show because a lot of things that you understand from the original Power, that you become a fan of now. So Jukebox, the course, the crooked cop or the corrupt cop that becomes that's Kanan's cousin and his family member. We understand her story now. We understand the story of Sean, who Kanan names his son after later in life, who eventually had an untimely demise as well. So a lot of these things we're starting to understand, and they just introduced the character Breeze, which we heard a lot about in the original Power series. So Breeze is making an appearance. So us fans are excited about that because we finally get to know more about Breeze. A lot of people thought Breeze was his dad, but of course Breeze wasn't Ghost's dad because they're around the same age. So a lot of people didn't know who Breeze was, and they assumed that Breeze was either his dad or some kind of family member. But now we get to find out the relationship that they'll have. So it's exciting to see in the next season. Which leads me to the last show, which is Power Book 4, which will give you a glimpse of Tommy's life after the aftermath of Ghost's death, him relocating to Chicago, finding family there, and living with his mom. Well, seeing, having a relationship with his mom again and having a relationship with his brother that he didn't know about. The show was a little underwhelming, especially for Tommy, because Tommy was he was the funniest character in the Power series or the Powers universe. And for some reason, this show just didn't do it the same as the other shows. I think it's just because of the lack of connection to other characters in other shows. And I think they had, I think Tasha made an appearance, but other than that, there's not a lot of connection. There's a lot of new faces in the Power universe that are introduced through this Power Book 4 Force show, and a lot of characters that are not dynamic as the ones that were in the other Power series. Other characters that not are as hilarious or not as intriguing or entertaining as the other characters. So I think this show was done a disservice by not having that connection to the original Power series and not having bigger names and connections. Because, Power Book 2 Ghost has Mary J. Blige and has other stars that were in the original Power series that this one just doesn't have. But all in all, I think Raising Kanan is the best show in the Power universe just because of the amount of investment in the characters and the setup and the storyline. It's just everything surrounding the fandom and how everything else is connected. And I think that Power origin story will be my new favorite show once it comes out because it'll give us more insight into Tommy and Ghost that we didn't know before, and some things that we did know but we didn't have the full details on, like the character Breeze that they're going to introduce in Raising Kanan, like Ghost's relationship with Angela and Tommy's relationship with the women that he had and how he became such the dynamic character or the villain that he became, so to speak. But nevertheless, I think Raising Kanan is the best show. And if you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. And until next time, I'll see you next time.